Okay, we're on.
Okay, live. Hello, 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 everyone.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. We hope you're having a
Okay,
wonderful evening. Well, evening for me, right?
Elizabeth.
Hi,
Elizabeth is
Elizabeth.
here. Hi, Elizabeth.
You're the first person. You're so dependable. Um, so, oh, I want to show you guys my little reading mug.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wonderful.
Did I not
Oh,
show
it
this to
has
you
the
before?
book in there in the handle.
I like the
Oh,
one in the handle, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I love a good reading mug. Like I'm a huge coffee drinker. Javi, you're a coffee drinker too.
Absolutely, yes.
You're not a coffee drinker, but anyway, the best reading I do is always with a mug like this,
Oh.
and yeah,
Where did you find it? It's so special. It's very original. I haven't seen anything like that.
yeah. Well, for anyone who is watching tonight, if you want this mug, this is just available at Chapters. So here in St. John's,
Mhm,
that's Chapters on Kenmount Road. It's not
mhm.
available at the Kohl's bookstores that we have here, and there's a couple others just like this. My friend Rodo, who is probably watching tonight, one day he's going to come to my house and steal all my mugs because yeah,
No,
especially that one.
if he goes there, he will give you some mugs for your house. It will be quite
It's
the
the opposite. He will increase your
collection. Yes, your
collection.
collection is going to be,
yeah.
of course. So, hello,
Hello,
Hey,
Sir
Serhi,
Keith.
welcome. And Tim Tam, if he's with you.
Team Tam. Yes, of course, Team Tam. For sure, he's there.
Yeah,
So
always.
I really wish that our little button was a black cat because that would be more practical. Tim Nam is a black
yeah,
cat.
it could be. I
Uh-huh.
can
Yeah,
paint
that's
him
true.
if you want.
With a Sharpie?
Yeah, yeah. Why not? So cute, Elizabeth. Unfortunately, you can't get these anymore at the bookstores. But I
Mm.
wanted something to symbolize the bond that is the Fiction Finders, and a couple people from the previous live chats that Mao and Javi were doing also got some buttons too, but now they're no longer available. But if I ever see them again, I'll make sure that you get one.
Oh wow! So Ale
So,
and Rodo are pretty lucky.
yep,
And Danny. Uh-huh.
my friend
Danny as
Danielle
well. Who
too.
else has one?
Yes.
Danny, Rodo,
The
Ale.
third is pretty exclusive. There's the three of us plus Rodo, Ali, Danny. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. So it's very unique.
Oh no, I will be very careful because I have so many things in here. I always put it right in front of me, even
Mm.
if I'm not using it, so it won't get lost. Because in
Oh
here,
yeah,
Mhm.
like
Yeah, me
I,
too. I have a special place for it.
yeah,
I just put mine right back on the shelf when I'm done. But it almost went into the hamper the last time.
yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, that couldn't happen. One of my magnets, this has a magnet. It just got lost because I put my microphone off the jacket, but I didn't didn't remember it was there was a magnet, so it's lost forever, and
Oh,
they are not cheap. So
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
but this is more special, so I have to be extra careful with this
exactly.
little pin. Oh,
So Marce,
Marcelo,
hello Marce,
I
welcome.
was just putting the link in our book club
Mhm.
chat. So how did you find us, my dear Marce? Are you subscribed? You should subscribe if you're not
Yeah,
subscribed.
she subscribed for sure.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Excellent.
Janelle Elizabeth.
Oh,
Hello, Janelle.
hey, Janelle. I'm so happy to have you here. Janelle's one of my newest friends. I'm so happy you clicked on. I'm always so impressed. I'm always so happy and surprised when I see people's names come up. Andrea's here too. Hey, Andrea. I'm so happy that you're here. Andrea is also a friend of mine, and Andrea reads a lot. So I only told Andrea about this meeting a couple of days ago. So I don't think you would have had a chance to read the names. Did you, Andrea?
Because
Welcome, Andrea.
we're full throttle with spoilers today.
Yes.
Yes, this is the second session about the book. So the names by Florence Knapp. So since this is the second session, this means we go full spoilers, and we are going to evaluate the book today. We're not going to actually rate it because the rating goes at the end of this project at the end of the year, but we'll do the actual evaluation and assessment about this book. And this means full spoilers.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
And this conversation is extra special today because in our last live session, the wonderful Javi mysteriously vanished, and it wasn't a magic act. He did vanish into thin air, and he didn't come back until today.
Yeah.
So we're so happy that we're all together.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. It just stopped raining, so luckily I will not go out of internet today.
No, it's gonna be fine.
Oh yeah, I truly hope so. If not, I will try my best in Instagram or something like that, but I don't think it will happen. It's just happened once in 2 years of this type of project, so it should happen.
It's so funny that
actually,
we started the last time. It happened like 5 minutes into the conversation and not like.
Yeah, exactly. It was so at the beginning. But last year, Javi, we didn't have these interruptions, right? And we did like almost 50
Almost 50
sessions. But we never had these interruptions. So yeah, it's very, very strange.
Yes, it was terrible. I was pretty upset, but I think it will not happen today.
Well, we can't wait to hear your thoughts. Elizabeth,
thank you so much. No, thank you. I must confess I couldn't see the replay for last session with you guys. So I don't know what you said about the book. We haven't spoke about it because this has to be fresh. So for everybody to know, if I'm I don't know, saying something that has already been said, please forgive me. I couldn't see it. Okay, so just bear with me a little more.
Yeah, no worry, it will be fine. So actually, it was like 2.5 hours last session, but it was without spoilers. So we were very, very careful not to give away plot twists or themes from the end of the book, things like that. But we did discuss about the premise, the characters, the setting, what is the structure of the book. We gave our overall opinions, but without the spoilers. So actually today it's a more free and open session because we don't have to hold ourselves back because we can talk about all spoilers. So that's great. So it will be a nice conversation.
Yes, such a wonderful book. Well, I will say that later. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited.
So we got that house after. That's Mike, right?
That's Mike, of course.
My very funny brother-in-law.
Hello, Mike.
That feeling will last you for years and years and years. I still have that feeling with this apartment. For me, it's just, and it's been like 8 years now that I had this apartment. It was just so wonderful. So congratulations again, Mike.
Right. Yes. Very well deserved. And we have Patrick Kearney. Hello, Patrick. Again.
Hello, Patrick.
Welcome back, as always.
Patrick finished the book. Actually, finished the book a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
great.
Elizabeth says hello to you, Patrick, as well. Yeah, so we have a few people, a few new people who are joining us tonight. Some new friends, some clients of mine. And so to those new people, hi and welcome. You are always welcome here. And hopefully you're going to be interested in reading the books with us. And for those who don't know, these two lovely guys, we have Mao or Mauricio, and also Mr. Javi Pons right there. They have their own YouTube channels, and they're very, very popular on YouTube. You can go to their channels. Your name's disappeared from your screen. Maybe because
I don't see it. Yes.
The banner up there. Okay, it comes back when I take the banner away. So now you can see the names of their channels, El Javi Pons and also Mapanto.
Mine is upside down, but it's okay. Let me just edit it. Oh yes.
So I was going to say these guys mean so much to me. So if you can go to their channels and subscribe to their channels, that would be fantastic. I would really appreciate it, and subscribe to mine too. But
Yeah, that's the first one. That's the first one. Newfound Reads.
Newfound Reads.
And a part of this project being on John's channel is because we want him to grow his YouTube account. So please do so. That's why we agreed to do everything here. And eventually we will be like reposting or anything that we need to do in our channels. But the thing is, you need more audience, my friend. And you're having it.
Yeah, and I'm happy to announce I have 5 videos being published this week.
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic.
This weekend. 3 of them are quite short, but that's okay. And there's some new material going on, Newfound Reads, this week.
Excellent.
That's great.
Busy John. Excellent. This should be.
Yeah, as it should be.
Newfound Reads.
Well, so let's get to it. I think this is a twist in our reading spree. The last book was about so many things that are changing in this narrative, no? And we're going to talk about first. We agreed the premise of the book. So, what's this about? The Names by Florence Knapp. It's a very strange, non-typical book. It's a very interesting premise, this one that Knapp tells us. It goes like this. What happens when you name your child with one specific name that has a meaning for you or for your child or for your husband? And this goes other ways eventually in the novel. So every one of those 3 first choices will give birth to a timeline, a reality, and a systemic view of that child's life and everybody that surrounds him. So that's more or less the premise. It's about not multiverses, but different timelines, different realities that come from the meaning of the names we are given, and how that name or those names are going to be so important for some people, are so non-important to others, and how can they define who are you going to be in life. Maybe towards your personality, or maybe not, maybe towards your relationships and the relationships of others that are affecting your life as well. So that's the premise. That's why the cover in this version, because there are 2 versions for this book. In this version, you will see, thank you, a little flower or a plant that has 3 different types of flowers blooming in the same from the same plant. So that's the thing. It's like the same life with 3 different outcomes. And something that now that I've read the book, maybe you should have 3 different landscapes going on at the same time, because every blooming of that plant comes along with a different reality in the surroundings, and it's just so beautiful. This Florence, this is my first approach to Florence Knapp. This is her debut novel, so this is so amazing, and I think that this is a very difficult topic to go to in an innovative way, because so much has been written about different realities or timelines. Remember Back to the Future, the movies are like this, no? What will happen if you move this or that? Or other books like On the Calculation of Volume, it goes playing with time itself. So this is a little like that. This is the other cover for the names. One's for the British edition, the other one is for the American edition. And the Mexican and Spanish from Spain, Iberic edition, from Salamandra is this one, but with a yellowish frame all over the cover.
Hmm.
And this, you can see this guy is just going through life. He's like going to his future, and he has three different shadows in the floor, and every
Hmm.
one of those shadows is different, slightly different, but different, because the point of view where you are seeing the shadow towards the sun um, tells things about what's happening with him. So that, I think it's a pretty neat cover. But well, I think the three of us like this one better, right? I think that
Yes,
we
yeah, the one with the flowers. Yeah, it's more meaningful completely because three different, very, very different types of flowers come
Hmm.
from one single plant.
Hmm.
So that's perfect. A perfect representation. You cannot tell by the cover itself what the book is about, but
Hmm.
once you complete the book, once you read it and you
Yeah.
know what happens, all of this makes full sense, and that is beautiful.
Yeah.
mm,
And
mm,
this one here is pretty good, but it almost feels like it could be a Haruki Murakami book where there's three suns in the sky shining down from three angles. But yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely like this
Yeah,
one.
for that one, I like the shadows. One of the shadows is like with the head down,
yeah.
like in a meditative way or maybe a sad way. The other one is like more straight up, and the other one is like giving us a side view. So that gives us also a glimpse of the personalities that
Hmm.
each one of these persons will have. So it's also very interesting. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I never noticed that they were looking in
Hmm.
different directions, had different stances there. I didn't notice.
For me, the flower version speaks a little stronger as well, because seeing a guy just walking, it's straightforward for me.
Hmm.
And like thinking about a human being, a guy specifically, because this is a guy's guy, no? So it's a man's man, or everybody wants him to be a man's man.
Uh-huh.
And to signify him by means of a flower, it just gives another dimension, you know, a more sweet dimension to this person that we're going to read about. So
Hmm.
that part for me is as well one of the reasons that I like it. So that's the premise, and with the premise comes a challenge, and I really do think that this is a challenging book for some people, because you have to come um, in terms of the narrative to you have to be very clever or have good memory of what timeline has what's happening in each timeline, because
Hmm.
it will give you not a complete timeline in just one moment. Is
Hmm.
these first like 7 years, and these other 7 years, and these other 7 years, and each timeline is going to be addressed by 7 years in trios of timelines. Let's say that. So it's a little confusing if you're not accustomed to. This is not a fragmented narrative. It is not, but it can come as a fragmented storyline, because it will be giving you these stop and rewind. No? So that's challenging for some people. For me, it was a little bit, but we are accustomed to more scary narratives in this space. No, I think we've read uh, different approaches to this, but this is very fresh to me. It was pretty fresh. It was interesting.
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so just to mention, this is a book that requires certain effort from the reader because, as you said, it's not just you have three different timelines or storylines, because each character is repeating their lives in different circumstances, but it's the same characters. So you have to
Hmm.
pay attention to that. The only character that has a different name is, of course, the protagonist, because that's the whole point. So the
Right.
protagonist is the man, and he is given a certain name when he's born. So he's the only one that has a different name. But all the other characters, they have exactly their names, and their personalities evolve differently. But at the beginning, they're basically the same, and the setting is also the same. So
Hmm.
it requires a certain effort from the reader and attention. You need to be paying attention all the time. I am reading, okay, this storyline, so this means the boy is named like that, and
Mhm.
then this happens because of that decision to name it that way. So
Mhm.
as you said, also this narrative is not like a straight narration, one narration, then second narration, and third narration. Instead, it's intertwined, and you need to be careful which one you're into at that moment. So, but that's the beauty also. This is a book that requires certain effort from the reader. It
Mhm.
doesn't give you everything like easy to digest. So that's also the beauty of it, because at the end it's very satisfactory to have read such a powerful story.
Mhm. Mhm. I would say as well, I was so happy that I kept notes as I was reading this book. And so it's only 330 pages, I think. But don't let its concise size fool you. So much happens in this book. So what the guys just mentioned there is 100% accurate. But also don't let that deter you from picking it up. This will be a great book for any reader here. And also if you're trying to choose a book for a book club, this
Absolutely.
would absolutely be a great choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is actually the Gina's book club, right?
Jen,
So this is
read with Jenna.
a
I don't know
Gina.
who Jenna is still, but you can read with Jenna.
So actually, this became famous because of that, because the read with Jenna. So we have these four celebrities, right? So we have Oprah, we have
Yeah.
Jenna, we have Reese Witherspoon, and we
Uh-huh.
have Dua Lipa. I think
Dua
those
Lipa.
four.
Yeah.
Those four book clubs are very famous. So these celebrity book clubs. So a lot of good books are given attention because of those clubs. So
Yeah.
this is why this is not a sticker, actually. This is like
This
the
is
same
printed.
cover. Yeah, you
Um,
cannot get rid of this. But
Yes.
yeah, that is why sometimes these celebrity book clubs gives
mhm,
us some visibility to these
Mhm.
fantastic stories.
mhm.
So in this case, Jenna recommends.
It should have been in the Booker's Prize. Well, that's
Yeah,
maybe that's for the last part of this, but in my opinion, this book is just so underrated, underestimated. I don't know why. Mm.
Absolutely.
yeah, exactly. No, actually, when we did an assessment of possible selections for the Booker Prize last year,
Yeah,
2025,
this was
this
one.
was there. So we
Yeah.
said, "Oh, this premise, it's fantastic. It gives all the Booker Prize vibes." But at the end, it
Mhm.
didn't, it didn't get it. So, okay, so that is why we
Flash.
save it, right? We save it for later. Okay, so we'll do it. We need to read it after the Booker Prize season. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Mhm.
definitely this has all the potential.
yeah,
Mhm.
totally, totally. I think it's better than most, that some of the books
Mm-hmm.
that made it to the Booker Prize.
Totally. Totally.
So, we have yes,
Hello, Brenda.
Beach in Paradise. Oh,
Hi,
I'm
Brenda.
jealous. I'm
Uh,
jealous, Brenda.
yeah. So Paradise
Totally.
is actually a community here very close to St. John's, where I live. In fact, that's where my sister and her husband just bought their house.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not saying like that she's in a paradise. She's actually in paradise.
Oh, it's
That's
called
even better.
Paradise, that beach.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And she's listening to us as she watches the sunset over the ocean and
So
hears the waves crashing on the rocks. That's the perfect place to be, Brenda, while you're
Mhm.
listening to us.
that's
Thank
the
you so much.
paradise already. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You have so many gorgeous landscapes there where you live, my dear John.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And actually, reading this book actually made me appreciate that a little bit more. So the landscapes, as they're described from a lot of British authors, like our landscapes match Ireland and England and Wales and Scotland so much.
Oh,
And so it's such a joy to read British authors so much, um, for me, for that reason. So
mm.
I don't know if we have another British author coming up. We have Alan Hollinghurst, I think, coming
Yeah.
up down the
Mhm.
road. But yeah, so I hope you guys think of St. John's a little bit when you're reading these books.
Oh. I've just seen your videos and I just can only imagine.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah.
just wonderful places.
Yeah, Javi really wants to see the puffins, you guys. So
Yes, I love puffins.
They're so
We
cute.
to make that happen for
Do
Javi.
we cannot see puffins in person? Well, in animal presence here in Mexico, we don't have. We had
No.
some so many years ago in our zoo in Chapultepec, but
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe the climate or something, the weather, and they are not here anymore. And
Mhm.
I was so young, and eventually, it was only in books that I've seen puffins. Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, but that is not the place to see this kind of birds. This
No,
has to
in those
be
islands.
in their real habitat. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
on a boat tour, and they need to
mhm.
take us right to their nests. And they're
Oh,
very
Yeah,
friendly.
and at the
wow.
same time, you can see the icebergs and you can see the whales. So it's
Mhm.
the whole package. So that's perfect.
Yep. You can
It,
come in the
it,
summertime.
yes, Brenda says that we should go there. I truly want to go, and we're doing here in our family like the plan to go in 2027.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Hopefully, if not 2028, because it's a lot of money, but
Yeah, we need to
but we
plan.
will
But yeah,
get
that's the idea. That's the plan for sure.
it.
To go and visit John and visit you and all the places for sure. Yeah,
Brenda will
that's
be
on the road.
on that beach. Brenda, Javi, and now and myself. Actually, Brenda would love that. We'll be joining you on that beach,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Hope that
We'll be
someday.
joining you in paradise.
Yeah. Nice.
No, you
That
literally will be. My sister lives there, and you're going to be going there for sure.
excellent. So we
Yeah.
can
Wonderful.
meet your nephew. I would love to see him in
Oh
person.
yeah.
Hmm.
He would love to show you all over.
So, well, that's the premise, and we have some. Well, we're going to go through, I think, the specifics today, no, and
Yes.
the evaluation of our perspective, mostly with our evaluation at hand, as you know, and maybe you don't because you are just arriving. But we
Mhm.
have a pretty neat spreadsheet and a manual to fill it in, about how can we select from all these 10 books that we are going to read along the project, along the book club. This is a book club for you, and for us as well.
Mhm.
How are we going to select the the best, the one and only book that we truly
Hmm.
think is the best of them all? And
Mhm.
eventually, from there, it goes like 5 stars, 4.5, 4 stars, and so on. The other ones. So we are going to do that today, just saying what we thought about these topics or these criteria, and hopefully you will agree with us or not. And that's the wonder of these live shows, so we can know what you think about the book.
Hmm.
Hi, hello, Mafer. Mhm.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Mafer, she's in Colombia, I think, right now. I think you're in Colombia. If not, you're back
Oh,
in Guatemala.
really? In which city?
In Bogota. She was in Bogota. I don't know if
Oh,
in Bogota right now, but she was there. That's why I told you about the places
oh yes,
to
the
visit.
nice places to visit and the bookstores. Oh, okay,
They were for
okay,
her.
that's great.
Yes, they were for her.
I hope you enjoy that.
Mhm.
So plot structure and narrative coherence. Well, we can. How do we do this, guys? So just tell me.
Yeah.
I
So basically, we have 20 items, right? So we came up with 20 items that we use for our assessment of these books. This is also a tool that gives us the rating, the final rating. But today and all this year, we will not discuss about the rating in these sessions because we want to have like a final ceremony when we give this award to the best
Mhm.
fiction that we found. In that moment, we will give our evaluation, our rating, and we'll discuss how we did it. But for now, we are going to discuss basically what we thought about the book in terms of 20 items,
Mhm.
and that is why we have this number one: plot structure and narrative coherence. So I think we can go one by one
yeah.
and just we can just say our comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait. Excuse me. We got that house after is your sister Jack.
So she's on Mike's YouTube account, and
Yeah.
that's fine. Oh, hey, Jack, isn't it your bedtime? Also, you left one of your dinosaurs at my house.
so good.
So I'm pretty sure this is a
That's a
Tyrannosaurus.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah. Okay.
Excellent. And Maffer says that she and her husband were there 2 weeks ago. So sorry,
Okay,
there
okay. So she was in Bogota 2 weeks ago. I hope you had a good time. I don't remember too well if this was the yeah, actually this was the election timing. So maybe you were just in these busy days because we had the presidential election. And but you had a good weather, I think. It was not raining so much. So hopefully you enjoyed it.
I sent them your recommendation, so I hope
Yeah, yeah.
you liked it.
Okay, that's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we can start. So plot
Mhm.
structure and narrative coherence. So I need the so we are going to be discussing this in full spoilers, but also in detail about what happened in the book.
Oh,
So as
Mhm.
Savis was saying, so basically the premise is about a boy that is named a certain name when he's a baby, but based on that name, a different branch in reality opens, and that decision to choose that name will define his character, personality, his behavior, and also his surroundings.
Mhm.
So we need to mention this happens in England in 1987,
Mhm.
and the name of the mother is Cora. So
correct.
Cora is married to Gordon, and Gordon is like a very well-known doctor in the society. It's a very closed community, so everyone knows each other, and the doctor in this community is Gordon, so he's very well respected. He's let's say a public figure because everyone knows him and everyone goes to him in terms of medicine. So in the society, he's presented as a good person, but
Okay.
in the in-house, indoors, so he's a different person. He has a different behavior. So Cora has already a daughter named Maya, and
Mhm.
Maya is 9 years old when the baby is born.
Mhm.
So this also happens during in England there was a storm. It was a very heavy storm that it was raining like 2 or 3 days, and this was like a very gloomy period of time for this country. So that is also set in reality because that was a real event. So after the baby is born, Cora had to wait a few days before going to the registration office because of that weather, and that is why she has this thinking in her head: what I will I do? What will I do with the name of this baby? How will I name it? Because Gordon, who is the father, has this family tradition that every boy raised in this family is named Gordon. That is the family tradition. And basically, he's just saying, this boy will be named Gordon after me because that's the tradition and that's it. There is nothing else about that. So when Cora finally can get out because the weather is now nice, when she walks to the registration office, she's thinking, am I going to name it Gordon
Mhm.
after his father? Am I going to name it a different name that I like, which is Julian? She loves the name Julian because it represents like a god figure, something like a more important man figure. But then she goes with Maya, who is the sister, and Maya is a kid, so she's just playing, and she says like a crazy idea. What if we just name this little boy like an animal, like
Mhm.
a very unique name? No one else will have this name. What about bear? Because a bear is very big, is very strong, is very intimidating, but at the same time, a bear can be caring and can be fluffy and can be some cute.
Mhm.
So she has this struggling. So the mother is saying, "Will I name it Bear? Will I name it Julian, or will I name it Gordon?" So based on that, then we can discuss the plot structure. So what do you say, Gaius, about that?
Yeah. Oh,
If you like, we can go in a circuit
yeah.
Hmm.
and do the same circuit all over again.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
yes, okay.
Well, do me go first?
Yeah.
Uh,
So
yes,
I'll
yes.
go. So for me, I picked up this book and I had no idea that this book was structured that way. or maybe I did, and I just completely forgot about this book being structured in this particular format. So I was really kind of surprised when I got to chapter 2 and we were getting into Julian's perspective. The first perspective was Bear, then it was Julian. I was kind of confused. I thought, what's happening? What's going on? It didn't take me too long to figure it out, of course. But yeah, so I was really kind of surprised by this unique structure. And then I was immediately just blown away that this author was going to be taking this on. So, first of all, why? Why would an author choose to take this on and tell a story in such a unique way? And I guess we pretty quickly figured out that the subject matter wasn't going to be light and fluffy. So not only was I wondering why on earth would Florence Knapp want to tell the story in this way, but do I really want 3 different stories that's going to be about abuse and resilience and survival? So I thought to myself, oh gosh, I really pushed for this book to be here for the fiction finders. I hope that I love this book. So anyway, when it came to the plot structure, I was immediately worried that this was going to be a messy book. But no, that wasn't the case. I was really blown away by it. And yeah, well, that's what I wanted to say. The flow was phenomenal. I was really kind of surprised that Florence Knapp could make such a coherent, flow for each of the storylines.
Okay, so should I go? Should have
Yeah,
you
yeah. You go.
go? Okay, so I'm second. Okay. Okay, plot structure. I think for me it was a very good plot structure because taking into account that this is 3 different realities, 3 different, let's say, the character is the same. So the boy is the same. His name differently. So because of his personality changing and his characteristics, his behavior, and everything he is different. So I will say this is a different character in each storyline, but all the others are the same. So for me to have this organized like that in 3 different realities was a very good idea, and it was very well done. It was a very intelligent move because if I have this premise, so what happens if I am named differently? Sometimes I have thought about this one in my life. If I had a different name, will I be completely different or will I be exactly the same? Because growing up, I had different names that I liked more than mine. I always thought, okay, maybe I like this name of this guy more than my own name. So what if my name was that? How will I be? Will I be more secure? Will I be more like feeling more creative or feeling more stronger or maybe weaker? I don't know. So it's a very interesting premise. So have this structured in that way with 3 different timelines, but intertwined instead of having this like 3 short stories. This will be like an anthology, completely different. In this case, they're completely intertwined, and at the end there is actually a connection between the 3. So for me, it was a good plot structure. It has narrative coherence completely because you don't get lost in these 3 different realities. Having the names of the other characters be the same, their growing and the development of the different side characters being the same, also developing and growing alongside the main character was also a very bold move. And given that this is the debut of this author, that is very impressive that she managed to get this done that way, being her first book. So for me, it was excellent.
Thank you, man. Yes, I think quite the same. For me, I was expecting something more like a time traveling, time differentiation, or parallelism type of novel. And it was really not. I think it was like seeing 3 realities at the same time. For me, it was like that. It was offered as such, when you first start with the initial chapter, the surprise for me was that the second chapter was the second life of the guy and his family. So it was like, okay, this is going to be in periods of time, and each period of time has three different outcomes, and I have to be very like alert of how every reality is uh, trying to grow
Mhm,
towards something.
mhm,
So for me, it was a very intellectual. Yes, I would say it really triggered my cognitive, not only my memory, but only also my cognitive like sequence of things. So I didn't get lost, or wouldn't get lost on the narrative. And then I was thinking when I finished the book, this is such a good book because it's like three novelettes or novels, no? With a double
mhm,
L and E. It's
mhm,
like three little books mixed them mixed along the chapters,
mhm,
but then with an idea that gives them coherence. It really has, the whole book has an idea along the three timelines that are you are reading, and
mhm.
it goes towards the last chapter, the epilogue. It has an epilogue, and it's just, I just couldn't stop.
Yeah.
Again, I
Mhm,
couldn't stop crying. It was like the epilogue gives voice to the invisible character
mhm,
that we all come to hate so much.
Mhm.
And well, I will say this later, but this plot just, it was like relieving so much of my own childhood and so much of my story, my family story. I'm really struggling, and I know now that I want to give this to my mom as a birthday present or something like that,
mhm.
maybe for Christmas or something like that, because she will suffer like hell, but I
Oh,
know she will make peace with so many ideas that are like flying around our family for so many decades. And
mhm,
this is one of those books that heal you if you've been through something like this. For me, it
Mhm.
was just outstandingly well plotted. And I think this comes from, or because of Florence Knapp being a short storyteller before this book. And
right.
it shows she has this like very brief, very intense storytelling, and then she intertwines them, and she
Mhm,
makes like a blanket, no? Like a cozy blanket of something that
right.
happened
Mhm.
as a whole. So for me, it was just the plot structure and the narrative. It had coherence. It was such an interest. It was like playing four-dimensional chess in Star Trek. It was something,
Yeah.
yes, like
Yeah,
that. Mm.
yeah. I forgot that she had written some short stories, but that makes complete sense what you're saying. Yeah, that's a really good point to make. I'm always so blown away when authors can put so much together into a short story. Yeah, so those are really good points. I think that's exactly how, if I was picking up this book for the first time, that's exactly how I would approach it, as three separate,
Mhm.
but intertwined stories. You guys just said that perfectly there. Yeah.
No, thank you. Oh, Quicksilver Ashley. Hello,
Hello,
Hey,
Ashley.
Ashley.
Ashley. Oh, you didn't read the names. We're going to spoil it for you. Don't just be aware, Ashley. We're going to spoil it.
But
Yeah.
Absolutely.
you can borrow my copy anytime you want to, because I'm officially done now. But she also says she still wanted to join in and listen and show support. Thank you so much. It's
Thank
just such
you.
a joy having you here, Ashley.
Yeah.
I'm halfway through The Eyes Are the Best Part. Okay, cool. I have my copy right here, but we'll mention that afterwards.
Yeah.
Um, that's what we're moving on to next. Hope you're doing well, but we hope you're doing well as well. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Uh,
and
oh,
Maffer says that thanks, Mao. Amé la librería separata. I loved the separata library you recommend,
Separata bookstore.
bookstore.
cool.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, so that is great. So I'm happy that you enjoy that.
We want pictures, my friend. We want pictures.
Yes, please.
So, character development and transformation arcs, John.
Yeah.
What are
So
your
we all
thoughts?
disagree. Oh, no, we all agreed. We didn't disagree that the plot structure was so well done, and yeah, the same for the character development as well. So it should be impossible that we have three complete stories. And so, if we're going to applaud an author for good character development, of course, the main characters and even some of the peripheral characters, we want a beginning, a middle, and an end. Or perhaps we want a beginning, a middle, some pivotal moments, some action, and some meaning to the characters, and an end. And yeah, this author did it. I can only imagine the amount of preparation that went
Mhm.
into writing this book. I would say perhaps I would have been happy if this book was 1,000 pages,
Yeah.
but given the subject matter, I can see why she did what she did. Sh Not too many people wanna read a book with this subject matter and these themes for weeks and weeks on end, and yeah, well, I guess I made my point. I was absolutely blown away that she accomplished what she did in such a short amount of time. And when it comes to transformation arcs, yeah, well, same thing. There's a beginning, middle, and I would say there's a pivotal moment for each of the boys, Bear, Julian, and Gordon. Yeah, there is. Um, before we get to the conclusion, and so yeah, I applaud her so much, and I will keep thinking about this book for such a long time, specifically for the character development and the transformations. I think that the characters were able to, or how they unfolded.
Mm.
That's very true. And actually, for me, the character development, I think, is the strongest point in this novel because it's like the center point, it's the pivotal point to have a character developing in three different ways based on the name he's given when he's a boy. But in here, we need to mention something very important.
Hmm.
The father, Gordon, as we said before, he's like a very well known doctor in the community. Everyone loves him. But in the inside, so indoors, in the house, he's very abusive. So he's abusive against his wife, so Cora, and also his daughter, Maya. Not only physical abuse. And this book is very explicit in showing us the physical abuse. In some moments, this is very hard to read because it has very explicit scenes in which he is abusing uh, his wife. So just it's like a torture. Actually, he's just going very far,
Hmm.
and also a psychological abuse because he's always treating her like she cannot make her own decisions. He doesn't allow her to access the money in the family. Sometimes she didn't have a key of the house, so she's like only the person who raises the kids, who cooks and cleans, and she doesn't make any decisions on her own. Everything is ruled by the husband, and when sometimes something happened that is not pleasing him, he goes right away and um, full throttle physical abuse, and that is very hard to read. And the child, Somaya, she's 9 years old by that time. She perceives all of this, so she knows that what is happening inside the house is very wrong. She is a witness of this abuse, but she doesn't know how to act. So she just listens and then hides and then thinks about something else and ignores what happens. But in the inside, she knows that it's very wrong. So we need to understand that it's a very abusive household because based on that, the personalities and character development, mostly for this boy, will be different. So, for
Hmm.
example, when he's named Bear, so we said that Bear because it's like intimidating and strong, but at the same time cute and fluffy.
Hmm.
So that name shapes this boy like that. So he grows up to be very big, a very big boy. He's at the same time very sensitive. He's he has a lot of affection for people. He's very curious. He's very tender. So that is his character development based on his name Bear. Because if we have this very abusive father, just imagine when he will say, when he finds out his name is the name of his boy is Bear instead of Gordon, what it should have been, because of the family tradition.
Mhm.
So the family becomes a nightmare, and Bear, the boy, has to handle all of that. So he's just presenting himself as affective people, as with a lot of affection, and being physically strong and big, but very sensitive. So that is his transformation. He took all this violence in his household and transformed everything into being sensitive against the world. Something similar happens to Julian. When he is Julian, Gordon, the father, is not pleased with the name Julian, but at least it's not Bear. So it's something lesser than something that is not as bad as Bear. So
Mhm.
with Julian, Julian is very timid. He doesn't show his emotions too much because he fears that he has the same gene of violence inside. He fears that he will become another abusive man. So he's very insecure. So that is his transformation. He took all this violence, but kept it inside. And then he's going to be very, very afraid of the world because he fears that he will become violent like his father. And when he is Gordon, so Gordon is the one that pleases the father. So everything in the family continues like the same. So this means Gordon will become also a very insecure man, but at the same time, always looking for attention. He's looking for validation of other people
Mhm.
because he's holding that same name from his father. He's following the tradition. So here we can see that the name he was given is transforming his personality. So that is the beauty of this book. The transformation arc of each one of these boys, which is the same boy but with different name, is really, really captivating. So for me, it was 10 out of 10.
Mhm.
Mhm. Okay. I in this part specifically, I'm well. I'm trying to be as strict as I can because we have 8 more books to go,
Mhm.
and I tend to go like 5 stars for everything that I like. So in this specifically, I was wondering what for me was something was off all the time, and it was Maya's character. For me, she didn't make so much sense because everybody is well, it's as you said, Mao with Gordon,
Mhm.
but it's not only his name. I think that the names this name of the novel is not only referring to Gordon's names, and I think that's uh, for me it gets validated because at the end of the novel you get the names of everyone in the novel.
Mhm.
So I think that the names really is about everybody involved in this boy's life
Mm.
and how those names of the people you will be caring about or you will be grieving about or you will be relating to are going to change if you change something of that importance in someone's life. So for example, Gordon gets to know Orla in some part of the novel. In other, he gets to know Lily, and it's
Mm.
something absolutely different, and it's another name of another person.
Mm.
So for me, that made so much sense in terms of character development that everything about him revolves in a different way, but it's not only around him. For example, Cora. In one reality, she dies so early. In another reality, she lives just long enough for them to go and emancipate themselves. And
Mm.
in another reality, she just dies of old age or something
Mm.
like old age. And she gets to be happy even if she wasn't happy all her life.
Mhm.
So that development of Cora's character, of Gordon's character in one reality, Gordon gets to redeem himself and tries to make peace with his former family, but
Mhm.
he couldn't do it. No, he's not forgiven, but he
Mhm.
tries. He just gets there. For me, that was just so. It was painful to read. And in another reality, Gordon dies and like gives the book another reality that we didn't read. So it's just, for me, all those characters, even the partners, the Cora's partners or Maya's partners, everybody made sense except for Maya. Maya
Okay.
for me was like an isolated character, a bland character. For me, it didn't make sense that she was the oldest. She was a witness to all that abuse in so many of those realities. The abuse was there, and she saw it.
Mm.
And then she is gay, for God's sake, a lesbian woman
Mhm.
does not have that personality in those circumstances. She cannot. She will not survive as a lesbian woman. Point. So for me, that was like, why are you making her lesbian and then bland enough to just be the same character in all these realities that she never does anything of value, but towards the end of one reality only. You know? So for me, that was like I would love to ask her, why did you make Maya like that? Because everybody makes so much sense and
Mm.
has those amazing transformations, and Maya doesn't.
Mm.
Uh, she's just like the same Maya of all the three timelines. You will like remember who Maya is because she doesn't change almost anything. You know? So for me, it was like, if it were a 10, it was like an 8 out of 10 because of that.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
everything else was just gorgeous. And
Mm.
maybe I would think that this is made on purpose. And I would like to ask her. I will ask her in social media for sure. I will
Yeah.
not. Yes, I will do it.
Yeah. One thing that I did like, I hear your point, Javi. One thing I did like about Maya's character is her focus on naturopathic medicine, and
Yeah.
not just because I'm a naturopath. That has nothing to do with it. It's just that it counters Gordon being the abusive man, but also it counters him being that doctor. So that was really cool. And you're shaking your head. Yeah. So you agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could have used more of that. We could have seen just a little bit. Like she wrote so beautifully, um, a, a perfect storyline for each of these characters, even Kian and even the friends. I forget their names right now, but not so much with Maya. I do have that in my notes as well. So I agree with you there. But that was one cool thing about Maya, is that she countered the abusive personality so much, and so I really like that she did go her own way, and yeah, that meant
Yeah,
something.
but we need to consider that Maya was 9 years old when the whole story begins.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So she had 9 years of violence in her house. So I
Right.
think that is why maybe she kept being like the same in the three realities,
Mm.
because in the three realities she's like self-sacrificing on behalf of her family. She
Mm.
takes care of the others. She's always like protective of the others.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because when this story starts, she already was 9 years old and she was already witnessing all this abuse in her house. So regardless the name of his brother, she already had all this experience before 9 years. So maybe
Mm.
that is why the author decided to have her uh, not changing too much, because she was like already uh, 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 um, old enough to be able to uh, display all of this in her own life. So
Right.
probably
It could
that could
be.
be a
It could be.
reason.
But I really do resonate with Maya in so many ways. And when you're the older one and everything relies on you to protect the younger one from all those reality shifting things that adults do to the two of you,
Hmm.
and then you are a lesbian, that's very important because it's like you're an outcast, and she's an outcast in some of those realities. She gets to go out of the closet at her 40s.
Mhm.
It's like, yes, it will happen like that, but that gives you another set of tools against violence and against abuse. And I don't know, she made her like so selfish, so self-centered, that she didn't really protect Gordon or Bear or whomever was
Mhm.
his little brother. She just like ran away, and I don't think that's something. I don't know why she did it, because it
Mm.
doesn't make sense to me that it will go that way.
Right.
Uh, just because that what you say is so true. She got 9 years of abuse that the boy didn't have. So that accounts for so many other um, like things you will consider towards your adult life. And
Mhm.
she's so bland. I think she's self-centered. She's bland. She's like so centennial, and she really, it's like a Nemo little girl all the time,
Mhm.
a crying baby girl, and I don't. It, it doesn't make sense for me. It was like that. I don't know if Florence Knapp do has to do more research about being gay, or being the oldest one in the abused family. Uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
maybe, no,
Mhm.
maybe. But that's the only fault for me. It's the only thing. And for me, it would be perfect if she were a little stronger in some of the realities, or she got like the leadership of what happened with
Mhm.
Gordon or Beryl or whomever. But
Mhm.
well, she's like that. She runs away. She hides. She doesn't say anything. In one reality, she's in the last one. It's like, why didn't you tell me this before? He says, no? Because he's like mourning her mother, and she says, "I because I didn't forget, but I really didn't know when to say it to you." And she's almost 47 or something like that at that
Mhm.
time of the novel. It's like, really,
Mhm.
and she's a woman. She's the oldest sister. If you have this binomial of older sister and younger brother, usually or there is abuse or there is leadership, but there is
Hmm.
no, I don't know any blandness about that binomial, that
Hmm.
the sister is always or abusive or a leader, protective of the little boy. But I don't know, the powers, the power dynamics with Maya for me were not there. But that's that.
Okay.
Yes, I will for sure ask her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't, she will
Yeah.
say.
Hopefully, she will be replying, and she will clarify what happened with
What
Maya.
happened?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So let's talk
Let us
about the
know.
pros.
Yeah. So when it comes to prose style and language mastery, of course, I focus on Florence Knapp as an Irish writer, and for me, I'm not Irish, but I kind of am. We're such Irish people over here, and so of course, it's called the names. We have to focus on the names that are in the book. And so for me, I love that she incorporated and she knew, of course, her own culture so well, and she brought in so much of what she knew. And I don't like it so much when authors pretend. And so she definitely focused on what she knew. She had so much to bring to the table with what am I trying to say? With the Irish and Gaelic names. And actually, I'm going to type in the comments because last week I didn't make anyone say it out loud. So this is the name
Oh,
of
yeah.
one of our.
Shilave.
The grandmother. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to know, Javi, do you know how to say the name out loud? Or how to say the
Oh,
name?
I tried. It was like Sylvia. Sylvia. It's
It's so
something.
hard to know. I love these Gaelic names. They're so fascinating to me. So that one's actually pronounced Shilave.
Shilabe. Okay.
Yeah, I knew that you'd find that interesting.
Okay.
It's so confusing. So anyway, when it
And
came,
everybody calls her Sylvia. No, in the first realities, they call her
Mm.
Sylvia, but her real name is this Sylve. It was like that.
Yeah,
Sabe?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Sylve.
So I just want to mention that I really appreciated that the author brought all this in. I thought the imagery was fantastic. I do have some examples here about some of the specific images that she brought into the book. Like, um, the book was pretty atmospheric, and so I loved when she brought in like even on day one when there's the storm and she has to walk through the storm. It matched the tension and the significance of the moment of her going to name the child, and she brought that in so well. So that was really special for me. But mostly, I really appreciated the Irish tone, the Irish words, and the Gaelic names that she brought in there. That's what I wanted to say about that.
So her boyfriend later on, it's his name is pronounced Kian. I always in my head it was cyan, like the color. So no, it's Kian.
Kian, yeah, and I think
Oh,
Brenda, who's a part of this group, she has a grandson named Kian. Yeah, so it's just want to mention we love these names over here so much.
yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
That's great. So we're talking about here the narration style, so the writing style. So how well written I perceive this book to be. And I cannot help but comparing this book to the previous one we talked about, which is The Tiger and the Cosmonaut. Not to say that was badly written. It was well written because it was fluid and you can read it very easily. But
Hmm.
this one has another level of mastery, in my opinion, because it gives you very beautiful sentences. It gives you very beautiful words, and everything is like so elegant writing. It's a very elegant writing style. She uses a lot of non-common words, but beautiful words that you cannot help but admire. The way she just connects the ideas, the way the dialogue is also represented is very rich. It's not like a bland dialogue. I was comparing, of course, with Tiger and the Cosmonaut, which is more like all these young people, how they talk to each other, very simplistic dialogue mostly. In this
Hmm.
case, it's the opposite. The dialogue is very, very rich. You can actually, it's not like people is talking in real life that way, not necessarily, but in terms of a novel, it's a very elegant way of describing how to portray ideas in the most meaningful way, because it's not just displaying all these thoughts in the spoken word uh, on behalf of all of these characters. It's the way you are getting all this information and you form your idea in your head. So for me, that was fantastic because the descriptions when we are in the house, for example, how you describe this house full of violence, how you describe the room where the boy is at the moment, the dinner time when they have all this tension between the characters because maybe the father didn't like the food. All these little things of the day-to-day life seem to be like, or could be, something basic to write about, but if Florence Knapp does it in a very, very meaningful way. She
Hmm.
really gets you can tell she made a huge effort to have each scene in the book very, very well described, but not overwhelming. And for me, that was great. And in relation to what John said about the names, so at the end of the book, you will have this section called character names.
Hmm.
So this is the full list of characters and what their name will mean. So
Hmm.
this means that she didn't just came out with these names out of the blue. She
Hmm.
made a real effort to give each character a name that will represent something in the storyline.
Hmm.
So that for me is language mastery because it's not just writing; it's writing with a huge effort to present something that will be unique. So for me, that was a unique writing. and I really, really enjoyed it.
Oh, great. Yes, I think you. Yes, for me it was like very difficult. I first I compared it with the previous one, and the poor previous one is just going down the slope.
Yeah.
Just for sure. I know that when we get to the end, it will be even worse. Um, because yes, it this doesn't feel this the names doesn't feel like a debut novel at all.
Yeah.
Feels like a more curated, more experimented writer is behind it. So well, this is part of me saying this should have been in the Booker's Prize is because the prose is something like the this book that we really liked about the girl who is searching for her mother as an adult in online. What's the name? It's very
Oh, you
similar.
mean the one that gave her for adoption?
Yes, yes, that one, that one.
Claire. That book is
Yes, them, and the book is called. It
I
has,
forgot the
it
title.
has oranges on the cover.
Yes.
Forms.
Love forms.
Love forms. Yes,
Forms.
love forms.
Love forms. For me, it was very similar. The prose was very similar, very feminine, but it's strong, not fragile, strongly stated. Very bold. All these images of abuse, they are not censored. They are not like Sweden. In one part where it struck me so vividly, this part where he is like, oh yes, nothing's happening. Yes, you can eat my darling. No, almost. He goes behind her, and he grabs her by the hair just suddenly, and he stomps her on the bowl, face on, just like that. The way she's narrating that type of scenes, it's very difficult to achieve, to surprise you with that violence in that specific level of violence, because she's not like really punching her, and eventually that happens and people get to die, but it's very difficult. So, and at the same time it's bold, and it's very, very feminine. It's like it's written by a woman who has been I don't know, a woman of her time, I think. It's not a millennial woman for sure. No, and it shows. So for me, it has been very difficult because I tend to, I always compare everything. I just compare everything. For me, it's like, oh, you shouldn't compare. Oh no, I always compare everything, everything, and I rate everything. It's like how I live. Okay, so and I cannot help but to compare this with my top references for language mastery and prose style. And in the prose style, I think she has her own style, and it's quite well developed. So I don't have any issue to. I will give her a full 10 out of 10. But in language mastery, I think she's lacking some more, I don't know, more artifices, more literary devices, more metaphors, a little more, because I want to dream more in her timelines. I want to be more like in the fantasy world. She tries to go there, but you cannot reach the fantasy world, the dreaming world, quite enough in her prose. So it's because of her language mastery. She has ways to go still towards mastery of the language. For me, it was just like thinking, am I missing something because I'm not Irish? So maybe there are some things that I'm not grasping, but I'm not Romanian, and I'm sorry, but again, Cartarescu is Romanian. That just, he blew my mind. He's the most recent one that I have in that level of mastery about language. So I think it wasn't only that I wasn't Irish, maybe it's something else, no? So for me, it was like 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 because of that. But it's
Sure.
quite a book. It's really, really high quality material.
Right. Well, I will say when I was thumbing through the book today, because I thought, what will I say about the prose style and the mastery of the language for this book? I was looking for the metaphors. I'm looking for like what are the best passages? Like maybe I'll read out a passage because I do remember like being impressed, of course, as I was reading this book. But I really couldn't find the metaphor. I really couldn't find a good example. So I spent a few minutes looking through. So to your point, Javi, I do see what you mean there. So yeah, and I said, oh, I'll just talk about the names because
But that's a good point about comparing. I do that too, for sure. Sometimes I do. I don't know. It's something that I do not only with books, but I do it with movies, for example, or even songs a lot. So it's just okay. I listen to a song, for example, but then I like to play and I like to think. I listen to the song again, but I imagine that it's a different artist playing that song or a different band.
Yeah.
And I always think to myself, will I admire this song differently because it's coming from a different band or a different singer or not? And the same with books and the same with movies. I do this all the time with Stephen King, for example. I'm reading I'm reading a book right now. It's Land by Maggie O'Farrell, and I imagine it's not Maggie O'Farrell. I imagine it's Stephen King writing this book, and I will say, will this read differently because it's by a different author? So with this one is the same. Yeah, I tend to think, okay, so I'm reading a Stephen King book called The Names, and what this will be impact, how this will be impacting my reading experience because it's him or it's someone else. So I tend to think about Mircea Cartarescu as well because it's impossible to ignore that his writing style and prose and mastery has a huge impact on us last year, right? Because it was an excellent book. So yeah, that is like the top level that we have at the moment. So it doesn't mean that this book is badly written. It's on the contrary, it's very well written, mostly because it's a debut. So on its own league, it's excellent. It's a great book. But in the higher leagues, in the top leagues, perhaps it's not there yet. Maybe in the future she will write another book that reads like Mircea Cartarescu, or maybe not, and it's fine. It's okay. But to think about this not reaching those levels doesn't underestimate her style because
no, but
it's great.
we're going to go full critical.
Yeah, exactly, and that's perfect.
We're searching for the best literature available.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not Cartarescu, no, because he's from Romania. He's from Romania. He's a man. Maybe that plays differently. But what about Ursula Le Guin with The Left Hand of Darkness? No,
Yes.
we've read it just recently.
Yes.
That's mastery of language for sure. No, and she's very contemporary. Because I could have said Kafka or Borges or I don't know. There are so many other top level mastery examples about language. Or for example, Butler, Octavia Butler, she writes like whatever, it's just incredible. So I think this is a debut novel and it's quite excellent, but it can be better and it will be better. I think Claire Adams has a better writing mastery of language than Florence Knapp. But it's like in the same league, as you say, it's the same style, the same atmospheres.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Adams reads so much more experience and mature, as a writer.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's like they have their own league, right? So it's Florence Knapp, we have Claire Adams. I think maybe Susan Choi, Flashlight,
Absolutely.
something on the same vibe, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so in their league right now, I think they're top ones. That's great. Definitely. And maybe in the future, who knows, they will be moving to the next level, the next league, and it will be fantastic to witness that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh well, Alicia Cuff, I think,
Mhm,
is higher than them.
mhm,
Absolutely, Cuff is just outstandingly. She's such a master of language. For example,
right.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
mm.
Great.
Hello, Ale,
Hey, Ale.
and Ale, and Sarah, and Martha, and Señora Maria. Hello.
Mhm. Hello. Oh, Martha's here too? Oh, I didn't see that. Martha and Sarah too. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I
Uh,
have some wonderful friends.
and,
Welcome,
and, and
everyone.
there's Señor Maria, who and I think another one. No, yes, that's that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Maria. I didn't see you there. Hello to you as well. I'm so sorry.
So, well, dialogue and authenticity and character voice, my friend.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So, okay, well, this book is so unique, right? Because this author chose to go to a place where, well, it's really hard to go. She wants to write about abuse, and it's not light and fluffy stuff, right? And so she wants to bring a voice to all the characters. She wants to highlight the three boys and focus on the importance of a decision, the importance of a name. But I think it's important for us to remember at the root, at the core of this story is Cora. She's so important. She's the well, the heart of the story. And so her voice is taken away from her so much by her domineering and abusive husband. And so, what a special opportunity for this author to give a voice to someone whose voice has been taken away from her. Um, so, yeah, I almost feel a little emotional even talking about it because she did it in such a beautiful way. Like the book was so full of anger and violence and there's another word I'm trying to find here in my head right now. But do you know what I mean? Like she was able to bring a voice to someone whose voice was taken away from her, and I was just so impressed by that. And these types of stories have been told before. And so we've seen even last year, I was talking about Nesting by Roisin O'Donnell, I think was her last name, a story about an abusive father, pretty similar to this one. But, she chose the structure and she was able to tell the story in such a unique way. And she brought a voice to each of the characters while staying true to the themes. And I would say that this book really excelled with the authenticity of each of the voices. I do hear your point about Maya, Javi. So now you kind of got me rethinking about Maya's voice, but I guess Maya isn't the heart of the story. So what I wanted to say is, yeah, but I thought she did a great job, and especially with the children. In 1987, perhaps like 7 years ahead of 1987, which is what, 1994.
Or
Thank you so much. Yeah, well, when the kids are young, I felt like, yeah, like the kids were really talking to us, and that was pretty special that the author was able to do that. And as well, for the abusive husband, I didn't want to hear him yell. I didn't want to hear him scream. But like with how she chose to give Gordon his voice, you could hear him screaming through the pages, and it was too much for me. I had to put the book down at certain points. So yeah, my hat goes off to Florence Knapp for being able to accomplish just that in itself, giving Gordon such a loud and obnoxious voice, and to make us want to continue reading. So special. So for me, that was a 5 out of 5. But I do hear your point, what you were saying about Maya as well.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. In terms of characters' voice, I like to think about what was the tough process of this author by giving voice to the characters like they did, but in terms of genre, for example, because here we have the main character is a boy, so the different names are given to a boy, But why? Why is it a boy? Why it was not a girl? Why it was not like Juliana instead of Bear? Maybe I don't know, Doll, something like that. But I think it was a decision by the author. It was not out of the blue. I think it was a decision to have this story told from the perspective of a man, because
Mhm.
she wanted to give awareness of what happened to the women in the surroundings of that man.
Mhm.
So she wanted to portray abuse, but specifically portraying abuse against a woman. She wanted to portray what happened, as Javi said, to a lesbian in the 90s, not a gay man in the 90s. She wanted to portray women struggles. So,
Mm.
how to portray women struggles in the 90s? By having a male character be the center and having like all these awful other guys around them, because the father is awful, all the other male characters are like inexistent, all the others like very secondary characters, all the other men. The women in this case are the ones that we are being shown to be struggling in life, because they suffer from discrimination, they suffer from violence, they suffer for different things.
Mhm.
So I think the author made this decision to have this character to be a boy and to give voice to the characters of the women through the boy. So through
Mm.
what happens to the boy, all the other characters, like specifically the women, she wanted to show their voice through that perspective. And I think it was interesting, of course. But I think it's very clear that she made that decision to show this violence and struggles and bad things that can happen to a women, to the two
Mhm.
women in the 90s specifically, and not having the main character to be a girl. So just imagine how old this name will be if he was a girl and not a boy. Maybe the abuse in the house will be different. Maybe it was an abusive mother, but that will
Mm.
be a different story. It will be connecting the dots in a different way. So it's very interesting to think about the voice of the characters having all these different scenarios, not
Mm.
only the names of the boy. What happens if it was the name of a girl? So yeah, character voice I think was when well handled, taking into account that this was a decision by the author to provide voice to the women more specifically, but through selecting a boy as the main character.
Mm.
Mm, mm,
Cool.
yes, yes, I agree. I think uh, uh, maybe I don't know if it was something that she thought about doing, like it came out with Maya. The first Maya, it I really did understand her. The little Maya that goes and hugs her mother and has this silent communication about what's happening, and she comforts her mother in the abusive moments by being silently there. I really do think that's something that she got right.
Mm.
But I didn't get how Maya, all the Mayas, became the same Maya in the other timelines when she grew up. For example, Kian has a different voice in every reality, you know? But it's the same man with a
Mm.
different voice. So with that different voice coming out of him and relating to other characters, there is an authenticity, for example, with his relationship with Bear or his relationship with Julian. No? It's like different levels of intimacy that everybody gets with one another
Mhm.
because of what happened prior to what you're seeing in that chapter. And I don't know, even the partners, Maya's partners are stronger than her, are more interesting than her, and are even better crafted than her voice is. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those dark spots, a little blockage. Maybe Maya signifies someone she really knows. I mean, the author, or
Mhm.
some personality she cannot get right. Maybe that's that, and
Mhm.
she maybe tried. But in terms of authenticity, I think she lacked that in her. In the 90s, being a lesbian, and at least in places like in Mexico, Latin America,
Mm-hmm.
it was easier than being gay, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and in here you almost, you're seeing like you're reading almost a trans person with that difficulty to express, to exist, to go. It's like, what's happening here? No, she's a lesbian. She gets it a little better than the other parts of diversity in the 90s, of course. That's when she should have been out of the closet or not, but being strong and being herself and everything. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Something that I didn't get quite right as well is, why is she juggling with sexual orientation and identity towards sexual orientation?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get that, because if you are going to just imagine those things, you will get it wrong every time.
Mhm.
It's so complex. It's another level of reality. There are multiple realities in just one household. For example, if you have a gay man or a bisexual woman and you don't know about it, the dynamics are in different levels at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something only people who are part of the diversity dynamics know about. So I don't know what her experience is in this topic, but I felt it a little pushy to be her to be lesbian. It was like, why are you saying this with her? Because it
Yeah.
makes more sense that Gordon gets to be gay in some of the realities because of
Mhm,
the
mhm.
absent father, all the Freudian things that I don't really like, no, but they sometimes come true. Uh, and not the little girl. Always, she's always a lesbian. He's always heterosexual.
Mm-hmm.
I think you don't know what fluidity is, and maybe fluidity comes with context and reality amongst the years, because almost every boy or girl are born asexual. So
Mhm.
what's happening here? No, that for me, that dialogue authenticity was lacking in some parts of the story with some characters. Because of that, I think she didn't get that right. The lesbic relationship in some of the realities, it was like, no, they don't relate that like that. It's like, this is a straight couple. What are you saying? No, they are not like that. No,
Mm-hmm.
because it's another type of, I don't know. It's another flavor of life.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm,
Uh,
mhm.
it cannot be like a heterosexual couple. Never. Even if you try to be, you will not get there ever. So for me, it was like that. It's not a 5 out of 5. It's like a 4 out of 5 because of that. But it
But
was. I think it's pretty well done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but remember last conversation we had about the tiger and the cosmonaut. We
No.
said that if we take some parts of the book out completely and the story progresses the same, this
Yes.
means that that part is not necessary or not specifically necessary for the plot to be driven.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
back then we said, what happens if the family is not immigrant? What happens if it's just a poor family, for example? So this
Mm-hmm.
means the immigrant part is not so relevant to the story. It's just something that the author wants to put there, but
Mm-hmm.
not to help the argument to be developed. In this case, that's one good example. So
Yeah.
why the sister Maya is lesbian?
Yeah.
So maybe it's because the author wanted to portray some diversity, or maybe she
Pink
had a
washing.
friend. Yeah, something. Yeah, something like that. She had a reason to portray that character that way. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean that this sexual orientation for this lady, for this sister, is relevant to the story. It isn't. You can take that part away completely, and it
Right.
doesn't change anything, right? It's the
Sure.
same. Everything will
It's, it
flow
should.
exactly the
It
same.
should. It should. If you
Hmm.
have a lesbian sister and she's
Hmm.
older sister, and you're in an abusive family and everything is crumbling apart,
Mm-hmm.
that will make something out of
Yeah.
everything. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
really, I don't think she understands lesbians or anything about being a lesbian in a family. I don't know.
Right,
You know?
exactly. So
And I'm not a
that was a
lesbian.
good so that was a good opportunity. It
Yeah,
was a good
Yeah.
opportunity to portray diversity in a way to handle the argument, to help pushing the events in this story. In this case,
absolutely.
it didn't. So we could take that part away completely, and it didn't change the actual storyline. So it's a very good example. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Hello, Rodo. Good to see you
Oh,
here.
Oh, hey,
hey,
Rodo.
Rodo.
There's Rodo.
Look at my mug,
Welcome.
Rodo.
Look at his cup.
You can't have this one. This one's mine. Put me a little one for you.
And I have my Snoopy one.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Mm.
I love that
It
one.
is with coffee. It has coffee as well. Thank you so
So we
much.
have a lot of extra coffee in the nose.
Yes,
Huh?
all of this is
Oh,
coffee.
so you can
Yes,
feel it all. Wow.
yes, you can have as much coffee as he can. So yes, this is a gift from my dear John. This comes straight out of Newfoundland, so you can know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, John.
It was very brave of me to send that to you because I had to package it up like you. I put so much paper around that.
You
So
did it so good. You're so well. Yes,
thank you so much.
absolutely.
I'm just teasing you, Rodo. You can borrow my mug anytime you want to. If
Only borrow, not keeping. Only borrow.
Oh, I'm not crazy. But let's be real. If you come here, Rodo, you're staying here for a long time, and we'll be having many coffee dates for sure. So our next point is thematic depth and intellectual meaning. So we actually haven't really talked too much about the themes and like what you guys picked up on as the overall themes of the book. But like for me, the thematic depth, like I have to ask myself, what was the biggest theme, or what was the most important takeaway for the themes that I resonated with. And for me, it was the resilience of the characters, the resilience of Cora, the resilience of the children. But also, I think the biggest message that the author is trying to put forward here is, how identity isn't really just handed to us. Our names are given to us. It's really forged by the person. And I think that she took it on really, really well. For me, that was the biggest takeaway, that she wanted us to think about that. So that's all I really had to say about what I picked up on the theme. But she did it in such a unique way and such a beautiful way. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
So, in my opinion, I think three themes are the main ones in this story. So, one is identity,
Mhm.
one more is destiny, and
Mhm.
one more is domestic abuse or intrafamiliar violence or domestic violence.
Mhm.
But I think I don't know if one of them is more like the most important one, because I think when the author starts writing this book, she says, okay, I'm going to write this story, but this will be about this and this and this. And I think one of them has to be like the most important one, or the main one, or the one she wants to portray in a more strong way. And I'm suspecting she wanted initially to talk about domestic abuse. And then after that, she decided to implement this dynamic about the names,
Mhm.
because um, it's one thing is about identity. So this means this person has an identity that differs every time he's given a name. So let's say we have 100 realities and he has 100 names. This
Mhm.
means he will have 100 identities. It's not one single identity. It will be 100 different, very different identities. But it doesn't imply that it's the pure name selection, the one that gives this identity. The identity is given, yes, by the name, but it's given by what happens in the family, in this violent family, after the selection of that name. Because let's say this is a very happy family. This let's say there's no root of violence in this family. Even
Mhm.
if the boy is named Flower, it will be something accepted in the family because it was a decision made by the family. Even if it's just the mother deciding, okay, this boy is going to be named Besito.
So cute.
So
Yeah.
if the boy is named like that by the family, by the mother,
Mhm.
the father, I don't think he will argue with that, because it will be loved baby in the household, whatever the name it is. So
Mhm.
I think, regardless of the name, the violence situation in the family is the one that drives through what is going to happen with that boy. And
Mhm.
also destiny. So destiny for me is also important, because we don't know for sure if our destiny is written somewhere, or if we carve our own destiny by our actions,
Mhm.
or if it doesn't matter, whatever we do, it's just a mess in the universe.
Mhm.
So these books gives us the sensation or the idea that maybe there's a destiny that is written for us, and maybe the destiny is triggered by our name selection.
Mhm.
That's actually a good idea. Why not? If I am named John, will I have a different destiny? Or if I am named Javier, will I have a different destiny? That's actually like a romantic idea, that if I
Mhm.
have a boy, I'm going to provide a destiny to this boy by choosing his name.
Mhm.
But we don't know. So that is an uncertainty. We don't know what happens with destiny, or if there is a destiny at all. So that theme about destiny that is implied in this book is also funny, because we don't know if it's true or not. So it's just an idea. It's just think about possibilities.
Right.
So anyway, regardless of destiny, there is also this violent situation. So I think that is the main theme she wanted to portray. And then
Mhm.
she just devised all this part about the names, selection, and destiny. So
Mhm.
those three for me were the main themes.
Cool.
Mhm. Yes, yes. I from the beginning, I think, like in chapter 3, I grasped for myself that the main topic was uh, systemic psychology applied to the world. How systems work, how every single thing that happens affects the other things that are happening.
Mhm.
So, as you say, I think that the main topic for that to happen, the movement of the system, is violence. Not only domestic violence, because I really didn't get. Well, she shows in one reality, we get to know the grandfather from her father's side, from his father's side,
Mhm.
and in that she like gives us a little glimpse of where all this violence is coming from,
Mhm.
and it's replicating violence inside the family, but specifically with the male uh, protagonist, the male firstborn, the male man.
Mhm.
Or so yes, I think that in a neutral system, or a more neutral system towards violence, regarding the choosing of the name,
Mhm.
then you will not have this effect. But
Right.
the novel starts when she knows that she's been given the responsibility to name the boy legally, and
Right.
she's been given the instruction to name him Gordon, because of this family heritage. But it's an instruction, it's an order, and if you do not comply, something very bad will happen.
Right.
And from there, everything revolves. How
Mhm.
bad will it be if you do not name him Gordon? And you have three different, like, levels of badness or goodness, I don't know.
Mhm.
Gordon is the order that you have to follow. Then you have this rebel name that is not Gordon, but it's not that bad, because it's from the family, it's from the adults of the family, it's from you, and you will like protect that decision because you're the adult. It's the mother's name, Julian, and there's the other that is the most like adverse and rebel and I don't know dissonant name, that is Bear, because it really is like, why are you naming my boy, my firstborn, that should have been named Gordon, like an animal? Are you stupid? Do you want to be dead? What's happening with you, woman? Point. No, that's the thing. So from there, everything changes in the system, and everything changes. So everybody changes their destiny. For me, this was just, for me, it was like 5 out of 5 or 10 out of 10, because it got me so intrigued. It got me so intrigued about, um, well, contemporary physics, for example. No? Different universes resonating at the same time.
Right.
Systemic approach to life, and systemic psychology approach to life. So when you see that someone is going to pay the price for Korah's naming him Bear, and he will die, or if she names him Julian, she will pay the price with her life later on. No? Or if she names him Gordon, she will pay the price with all her youth and her good years, and she will be still living to see them thrive, her children. But she will pay a price. That's the violence in the system, and you cannot escape that destiny. You will be touched by violence. Being Korah, for sure, and that's the center of the system. That's the movement of the system, and everything will revolve around that. And maybe Bear will get out of it a little more or less touched by it, or Maya will be Maya always and forever, Maya forever and ever.
Right.
Or the grandmother, she gets to have or not to have a life because of this. So it's very interesting. For me, it was just intellectually, it was challenging, interesting. Emotionally, but emotionally, it was like just outstandingly interesting, and the thematic depth of it was so profound for me. It was like she, for sure, she got maybe one or two counselors about how this systemic approach functions, because it's there and you can see it from the very beginning.
Yeah, I agree. And the power of words has actually been measured in quantum physics. And Dr. Masaru Emoto, Emoto, he won the Pulitzer Prize, I assume for physics, because he proved that names and words do have their own frequencies. So beautiful names have their own frequencies. Like if I say, I love you so much, you look great today. If I say, you look ugly, you look hideous, water molecules do change. And I was thinking about that all throughout my reading of this book. Like, I really do believe in, I feel like I know that words have power. And so names surely also have to. But that's my
great
scientific mind there. So Rodo says he needs to plan a trip to Canada. Ali agrees. Ali wants to go. She thinks we should plan a trip. Rodo says that would be great. I think he's going to come with Ali. And name two. Actually, I think I might need you guys to pronounce those words because
Bebucho, beso, and bechito papachito.
Cool. I won't be stealing that one, but I do like it a lot. I can't pronounce it, so I can't steal it. What does Ali say here?
Toby, yes, Tiger, Toby. They are playing with their pets' names.
Yeah. I do remember Tobias as being one of your pets' names. You told me that a long time ago. Those are all good names. And Colleen agrees. She says, I think the name chosen for you certainly plays a role in how your life will unfold. Not fully and completely, but it is a factor for sure. So
True.
we're all in
That's true.
agreement, I think, with you. I have a huge opinion about names since I have two, and one each uh, of them have a very different meaning. Of course, my favorite one is Alejandra or Ali. Okay, I know what you're going to say there. I was just thinking the same thing. And Algo, Ali, has a different meaning depending on who says it. Because for John, for me, I pronounce it, it makes it even more special.
Yeah. You
So I
said
say
Ali.
Ali, but Ale is what you guys are saying?
Ali.
Yes, Ale.
With Ali.
Right.
Ale.
So up here, that's not a name. Well, of course, I can call you whatever you want me to call you. But if you like it, I will continue to say Ali. I feel like I've been given a third name, a very special one.
Ali. Yes.
So much. Thank you so much.
That is so true. Did you know, Javi, that John has three names?
No.
Mhm.
So can
yeah.
you say your three names?
Yeah, so I'm John, Patrick, Anthony, Kearney.
Oh, Anthony.
John, Patrick, Anthony.
Patrick,
Can you believe?
the three of them are pretty cool. But Anthony is
strong-
just
strong
like
names.
yes, a strong names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was really sick when I was born, and so I wasn't expected to survive the first few days. And I was only 2.5 pounds, and so mom and dad, they really wanted me to have a strong Catholic name. So I was quickly baptized and confirmed because I wasn't supposed to make it. But I filled out. And
So
I survived.
Saint John, he's just one of the top saints of all time.
right.
Saint Patrick,
Saint-
and
Saint
that's the
Patrick.
Ireland going on in there.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
Anthony is quite strong. Oh, well, so you have three very very biblical
I
guys.
remember some years ago, I told John that when I found out that he had three names, I said, "Oh my God!" And going forward, I will just call you Anthony because I like Anthony. I like that name. So for a while, I only told you, "Oh, hello, Anthony. How are you?"
That was a month or so.
I can say it like Anthony.
Anthony.
I'll respond to anything.
Yeah,
Excellent,
that's
my
great
friend.
because in my case, I only have one name. I don't have a second or third name, so it's
No?
just Mauricio, it's just Mau.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just kind of I would like to have a more like a second name. Usually here, every people have two names, at least two.
Mhm.
To three, no, it's not so common, but some people have three names. But
Mhm.
two is like the norm. But in my case, my parents decided to give me only one. So I always thought about it. What will be my second name? Because I
And what
don't,
would
I don't
be?
have it.
What would it be?
I don't know. I always liked Ricardo.
Muy bien.
We can call you Ricky if you want us to.
I like that name. I don't know.
Well,
Always.
Ricardo.
Not Richard.
No,
Or
Ricardo.
Richard. No.
Ricardo.
Ricardo.
Yeah.
That's a king's name, Ricardo.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So-
I will always like that name. And when I fantasize about this, I imagine myself as being Ricardo.
Mhm.
The doppelganger can be Ricardo, don't worry.
Yeah, who knows?
You have one, I have two, and John has three.
Has three.
So it's
Yeah.
interesting. I'm Francisco Javier. Salud.
Francisco. I like Francisco. So
Francisco.
do you call Francisco Pacho in Mexico?
Yes, I don't like Francisco at all. I just hate Francisco so much.
Oh, really?
Because Pancho, Paco, Paquito, Pacorro, Pancho, Paquirri, it's like what? I don't know. No, Francisco, I don't like it. That's why I like better Javier,
Mhm.
but I love Javi. And I have another name that I will not be telling here, but that is not a name, it's a family name.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Because in my case,
that's
even though I have only one,
Mm.
my name has different like variations.
Yeah.
Well, the name is Mauricio, but for example, you call me Mau,
Wow.
but other people call me Mao. Not we do, or you or Mao.
Right.
Others call me Mauro. Others Mauri.
Mm.
And or the others there was another one Mauri Mauro Mao So you see, there are many variations of the same name, and I like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And the one I chose to be, it's Mao, because it's short, it's easy to remember, and it's cute.
Yeah, cute. You are cute, my friend.
Yeah,
We
Absolutely.
love
thank you.
just the way you are, as
You are.
Mao or Mauricio. Um,
You can always change your name, says Ashley. Absolutely. But
That's true.
that's the thing. For example, I have I have the honor to have trans students or ex students and friends.
mhm.
And when they change their name, it's so powerful
Yeah.
because, for example, they were born, I will say, like Pedro, and they changed their name according to what type of person they want to be with the name. So,
Mhm.
for example, they can change to Regina. It's like a very royal name. Regina is like queen. No, it's
Mhm.
in I think it's in Italian, Regina.
Mhm.
Or others, it's like I was Daniel, now I will be Daniela. So
Mhm.
it's
Mm.
like the same type of name, but in feminine. So for me, I think you can change, of course, your name, and it will have so much impact in your life as well
Yeah.
if you change your name. And if you change it, it's because it doesn't suit you at all.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So.
one more thing is that we are talking about names mostly for this part of the world. Because
Mhm.
remember, in the other part of the world, they have, of course, beautiful names, Japanese names, Korean names, Chinese names. Mostly they're like names that mean something about the nature, or the name defines how you will be in your life, even which profession you will have, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Depending on the name they gave you. And it's beautiful because in Chinese, for example, how you write the name in different variations, it will mean something different.
Ah.
And I had the opportunity to work with Chinese people some years ago, and they told me that they always have these Chinese names, beautiful names, but difficult to pronounce for us, at least.
Mhm.
So difficult to write, difficult to pronounce. So usually when they grow up, they have the opportunity to choose the Western name.
Yeah.
So they
Mm.
would always have the Chinese
Right.
name, which
Yeah.
is very sometimes difficult to pronounce, but
Mhm.
they choose the name, the Western name that they want to use for social media or for their friends abroad. And it's funny because it's like they have this opportunity to be named with a different style. So I
Mhm.
remember very well, there was a girl, her name was Guijua, something like that, but she decided to be called Irene.
Oh.
And it's because she watched a TV show, and there was a character Irene, and it was very beautiful, and
Mhm.
she like saw herself represented by that character Irene. So she decided, okay, when I am a bit older, I'm going to be named Irene. And it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful to be able to have my family name. It's going to be always mine. No one will take this away from me. But if I change it, if it doesn't mean that I'm getting rid of this, it's
Mhm.
just a second name, a second opportunity,
Right.
and to have a name. So what will it be? For example, right now, if I want to have another name, what will that be? So it's
Mhm.
it's a very, I think it's very like introspective
Mhm.
thing to do, but it's also beautiful to define yourself
Yeah.
with just a word, which is a name. So it's very nice thought about
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
JPAC agrees.
Mhm.
Um,
So JPAC. So remember JPAC, JPA JPAC, DJ JPAC's in the
yeah.
house.
Be my drag queen name.
Oh
Um,
yeah. So JPAC, sashay away. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have a drag name. I will not tell it here,
Me
but
too. I have
I
I have a
have a
drag
drag
name as
name,
well.
and
mm,
it was given to me in public.
oh
And
yeah.
All right.
wait, yes, I did run the wrong way in drag.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
I did it.
I know you. What?
Yes, you don't know so many things about. We have to go to have a coffee talk more often.
Yeah. So they give you go sissy that walk.
Yes, I see. No, well, it's like Spanky that walk. It's like no, I'm a little nasty when I'm in drag.
Mhm.
Oh, I can see that. I have a drag name as well. Will
Oh,
not say that here, but yeah, that is the first thing I thought when I got into this world. Of course,
mm,
the first thing you think about. Okay, so I'm going to be this persona. So
yes.
what will be my name? Because that's the alter ego. It's another me, and that is the
Mhm.
beauty of that, right? So you can be another whole persona, whole different character, a different being. And of
Yeah.
course, it will have its own name. And the good thing is that those names don't have to be politically correct.
Yeah.
Those names, the idea is to be funny, to be extravagant, to
Mhm.
be crazy. Uh, we need to make a list of all these funny drag names
Yeah.
because there's some that are so good,
Yeah.
so very well chosen.
Absolutely.
I think my favorite right now is Amanda Tori Meeting. Did you know her?
Ah, yes, 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 yes.
So
A
funny.
mandatory meeting. So what is it? A mandatory meeting. A
Mandatory.
mandatory meeting. Oh my
We
god.
have a mandatory meeting right now.
Yeah.
That name is fantastic. I like it so much. A mandatory
So
meeting.
clever.
Oh, Quicksilver Ashley. This I'm definitely not Quicksilver with superhuman speed, but I have a regular name.
Mhm.
Ah, and an Irish last name, Ashley Marie Delaney.
Mhm.
Oh.
I love so much Marie. Well, Maria, Mary, Marie. They sound so nice. That Marie is one of those variations that I really, really love. Oh,
Mhm.
oh, and Delaney. Delaney is Irish. Then
Delaney.
Delaney. Okay, Delaney.
Yeah, I would say Ashley. Yeah, that must be an Irish name. Maybe it's Scottish. No, I'd say it's Irish. And like Colleen, I think Colleen said this is her Gaelic name, or the Gaelic way to spell Colleen. I think she said that in the first meeting, but her
Mm.
name is Colleen, Colleen.
Mm.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. If she's choosing to be known as this, but
Formerly known
like,
as the
formerly known as Colleen.
it's called- okay, not fully complete, but it's a factor for sure. Yes, totally agree.
Yeah.
So symbolism and literary devices. Okay, let me just be a mood killer a little.
A
We are
moderator.
just in the number 6 out of 20,
I know.
and
Yeah.
we have been here for 2 hours. So what do we should be
We can
more
pump through it.
expedite? I know. Yes, more concrete. Yes.
Yep.
You are very concrete, my friend. We are not, as everybody knows here, but but we will try.
I think the
I
problem
think
is
we have two options:
Oh,
be more concrete,
or
or divide the session. I don't know. Maybe have another one, or just summarize it like that and leave it there.
I could go with this book for another 2 weeks for sure, but I don't know if we're going to go so
Yeah.
far away. Remember November, no?
Mhm.
So
Right.
yeah, I
Or
would say we can
let's summarize it.
yes, we can go quick here, quicker. Let's try.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
I
let's
don't
give it a try.
say here anyways. I really don't have that much to say about the symbolism and literary devices because I think we already agreed that she writes beautifully and she has her own unique style, but she really didn't bring in a whole lot of her own techniques with literary devices. And when it comes to symbolism, I mean, I can't really draw on any good examples except for what the symbolism on the beautiful cover. But yeah, so I really don't have too much to say on that, anyways. What about you guys?
Myself, I didn't find obvious symbolisms like that she was trying to say something, portraying something else. Because for me, in my opinion, these storylines were straightforward to follow. So yes, we have this symbolism of destiny triggered by a name.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the most obvious one. But for the rest, I think uh, the narration is straightforward. So it doesn't delve into like metaphors, like references to other things, or maybe reading in between the lines. For me, it
Mm-hmm.
was straightforward, not having like magical realism or something like that. Didn't have any of that. literary devices, we already said that she decided to divide the story in these three sections, but 7 years apart, narrating 7 years apart, and
Yep.
all intertwined. So
Yep.
I think that's the device she decided to use to have this mixed. And there's an epilogue,
Mhm.
and the epilogue it goes outside this device, this narration style, because it's like telling us like a common ending, like what will happen to the character of Gordon, the father, um, in this, I don't know, outside of all this reality blending. Because remember, at the very last page, Cora decides to give another name, actually a fourth name, which is
Yeah.
Hugh,
You.
the name of the
Yeah.
father, or her late father, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it seems, I don't know. Sometimes it seems like all of the previous narration was a dream, a dream she had the day before, the night before.
Hmm.
But then after that, she remembers all of this, and then she decided to give a not a full, completely different name.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, that's the only device I have, the
Sure.
narration intertwined.
Yep.
I for me it was almost like that. I think she tried, but I read the novel in a very Anglo-Saxon kind of way. No, you cannot have magical realism in Anglo-Saxon culture. It's
Hmm.
impossible.
Hmm.
And it's not said by me. It's said by more intelligent people than me.
Hmm.
And I think it's there. She's trying to get the symbolism there because, for example, the necklace, the jewelry,
Right.
flowers,
Yeah.
the attending the garden, the names. No, you have this triad of the vegetable, the mineral, and the animal in one of the realities. No, for a family, and it gets broken, and you have to fix it, and so you have to get an animal to get it right again, and it gets right again.
Hmm.
And eventually, you have this epilogue. For me, it was. Um, it's a difficult book for many people. I
Yeah.
don't know if
Hmm.
you've been in this type of families. Uh, it can be healing, but it's difficult to read. For me, it was very difficult. I tried to not to get into the story, but I think the symbols that she uses are there, uh, but they are not fully developed. They are there if you can like see them because you've reached the point where you can like identify them. But if not, they would just pass you by. Um, so the epilogue for me, it's like at the very end, it's like an Ouroboros. It's like a Moebius band because
Hmm.
at the very end, she gets Gordon to have this epiphany about the what ifs of the what ifs towards the very first, the very, very beginning of the book, where she is struggling and he sees her at the office trying to get the name. And
Hmm.
from fr- well, that type of thing is not easily done.
Hmm.
For me, it was beautifully done. And it was very powerful to see that she could come out with the other version of it. It's not going to be Gordon like your father. It's going to be Gordon like mine. And even in that, the destiny of the misogyny and the heteronormative thing and the womanizing thing that he has, it's there because she gets in his head, she gets to choose the father, not
Hmm.
the mother or the aunt or any other thing, but the father figure. So it's maybe it could be different and even better if it was the other father.
Hmm.
But it's a father. It's like no, no. So it's like a Moebius band of violence, and he really never changed.
Hmm.
So for me, it was mm, like comprehending that people are like they are, even whatever they happen to be living with in their lives. We are like we are, and this shows it. It's very interesting. I think there's symbolism in there, but
Hmm.
not quite. in the surface, and the literary devices are almost absent. There is not a single semiotic approach that I saw. Maybe analog usage of words or something very, very on the surface as well, very basic. No, so that's for me. It's like a 3 out of 5 in this part. Well, that's it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I see your perspective there. Next point is world building and setting immersion.
Mm.
So for me, like I thought the author did a great job creating an atmosphere and a home environment that we personally wanted to run away from, but of course the characters couldn't, and the tension that was there for that reason made me so uncomfortable. But yet I had to keep reading. So I guess I kind of already touched on that already, but I was immersed in the setting, and it wasn't because of the atmospheric description of what was happening outside. It was strictly because of what was happening inside. And yeah, for me, this is one of the story's strong points. But I do love a contemporary fiction or some literary fiction that has more descriptive passages. And that was kind of missing from this book. I would have liked a little bit more, perhaps. But at the same time, I love the author's writing style. So I would rate this pretty high, even though it was missing what I typically want.
Okay, so for setting immersion, I think this is descriptions. So how immersed I am in the descriptions by the author, and as we said before, yeah, descriptions of day-to-day life, because all of we are seeing here is not fantasy, it's not science fiction. This is pure contemporary or literary fiction. This is day-to-day life. So that in that part, I think the author does a great job. So as we said, the domestic abuse scenes, the dinner scenes, the work or maybe a romantic date scene, or I don't know, maybe something about the gardening, about when one of the boys, so Julian, sorry, Bear, when Bear is in the attic and there's a wasp, and the wasp just bites her neck, and that drives a tragedy. So that is very well written. So there's tension, there is description. So for me, it was okay. I think it was regular, not overwhelming descriptions, and that's something to think about.
Sure.
So world building, in my case, I don't see world building here, because for me, world building is when you build a world from scratch. So that's something that you are going to be, as a reader, in awe. As a reader, you are going to be, okay, I'm going to enter a full new world that the author has built for me. So let's talk about Middle Earth, or I don't know, something like Asimov, like we read before, Ursula with Left Hand of Darkness. So those are examples of world building, because she's building an actual world and something new to present to us as readers. So for me, there was no world building. It was just telling the regular world. So the regular day-to-day life. She did good with the descriptions, but this does not have world building for me.
Sure.
I try to think about world building in terms of the world we're living in the novel, and suddenly I found myself again not as bad as with the previous one, because the previous one was just like one setting or two. But in here, I couldn't find the outside again. It was like this house, this factory, this office, and there's nothing surrounding these locations. And I think it could go. I don't care. I can read a 1,000 or 800 pages. I don't care. I like it if it's going to give me that setting, and that word is going to be making sense of everything, because there are many things in this novel that are depending on the world that everyone is living in. For example, when the pandemic strikes in the novel, and I got the pandemic parts because we lived the pandemic. But if not, it will be just like I don't know what's happening here. Why are they in the car? They are in the car and they cannot go to a funeral. It's like she doesn't even like, she gets to get things for granted for us around the world building thing.
Mhm.
And the settings is quite the same. The immersion is more in the characters and the relationships than in the locations or the world surrounding
Yeah.
characters. So for me, it's like, yes, it's just a middle game thing. For
Mhm.
yes.
Cool.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Narrative perspective and point of view. So I think I already said everything that I wanted to say with regards to narrative perspective. We have the perspective of three different boys, well, the same boy, but under three different scenarios. Of course, I think this is one of the stories, one of the book's strong points. I really like that we didn't just get a point of view; we got a full story for each of the boys. And yeah, I don't think I really have anything else to add with regards to this.
So yeah, we said that before, as you said. So points of view. So we have 3 points of view, but it's not that we are seeing each character's point of view, because
Mhm.
I think we'll have to define who is the main character or who is the narrator in this story, or each of the three stories. So we are, I think, yeah, the main character will be Bear, Julian, or Gordon,
Mhm.
but we don't actually see his life through his own voice or his own point of view. We see this through the other characters' points of view mostly.
Mhm.
So the narration itself, I don't think it has a defined point of view. It's multiple points of view in my opinion, because there is no one telling us, okay, this happened to Bear, and this happened to Cora, this happened to Maya. It's all their behaviors and their experiences that tell us what shaped Bear or Julian or Gordon in that reality.
Mhm.
So we don't have like a full plethora of points of view. We have only a few. We don't have the point of view, for example, from the, let's say, antagonist, which is in this case the bad guy, which is Gordon the father. Let's say it will be
Mhm.
interesting to have maybe a point of view from that part, because the author that is just saying, okay, so this is the bad guy. He's violent. He's an awful man. He's a bad husband. Has a bad father, and that's it. So
Mhm.
that's one point of view. But we don't have the other side. Maybe he has something else to say, or maybe
Right.
he has a hidden life. Maybe he has struggles in his own life. We don't know.
Mhm.
So maybe an additional point of view will help in this particular story.
Mhm.
Mm. I read the whole novel from, I think it never changed. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think the whole novel is written from an omniscient, ever present narrator. And
Mhm.
I think it's a female narrator. I think it's a woman that is narrating everything. It's not a man. And it's a little condescending with the things that are happening. Even if some things she's narrating them in a very bold and in your face way, like the violence things or the deaths or the mourning of the deaths. She always tries to go there softly. Even in the epilogue, she tries to go with a little like I don't know if it's trying to tell trying to have a good vibe about even bad things like
Mhm.
this guy dying. So for me, that's the only point of view I got, and from there, I could barely see some characters and what they were seeing or doing or thinking, and
Mhm.
some others were like almost invisible. For example, Kian, he was so interesting, and I didn't know him
Mm.
as much as I would like to. He was like the absent father and the wonderful husband, and what? But why would you not go there? No, so
Yeah.
maybe this will be different if this narrator could go in three different ways, in these three different scenarios, in these three different
Mhm.
universes. You have a different narrator. That would be lovely.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it's, yes, it's one point of view, one perspective, and it works. It's very nice. I really do love it.
Mhm.
But it's just only one. Yes, it's not
Yeah.
complex. No, yes.
Yep. Absolutely. Pacing and tension management. This is one area where I felt like the book was just lacking a little bit for me. I absolutely appreciate that the storyline was every 7 years, but my main problem was Julian's timeline, Julian's story. I didn't like how Cora was just cut out. Like she seemed to be the heart of the story, but like um, we didn't get much about her passing. We didn't get much about what happened that day or that night. And I kind of wanted that. I kind of wanted her story to be told a little bit more. So for the tension management side of things, I guess it did bring in a lot of tension, but the story I just felt a little bit like underdeveloped where it could have been more developed. So that's the only thing I had to add in there.
Okay, so tension. So tension management. So this implies that there was tension in the book, right? So there was tension felt along all the narration. So yes, I did feel tension not because of the pacing, but because of what was happening in the scenes, mostly in the violent, disabused scenes. There was tension, of course, because that is something that I didn't want to read. Actually, I felt uncomfortable reading that. So for me, that was a tense moment, and I didn't want to continue reading. But all the others, I think I didn't feel any tension management because this is not like a thriller that you are going to be solving the mystery, or there was maybe chasing some characters, or I don't know, something like it's going to that you see that the narration is taking you someplace that there will be a plot twist, and then everything will be revealed. In this case, it was not like that. It was like more slow burn. The pacing was for me slow. It was not a fast and quick read. It was something that takes time, takes effort, because you need to be paying attention to the three storylines. So for me, I think the tension management is good, but it's because there is no much room for tension to be handled in none of the three storylines. Even when there was like like events that will impact the characters' lives. For example, when someone dies, or maybe someone goes to jail, or maybe there is an encounter with someone from the past. So that could be a tension management scene, but in this case, it's handled very subtle. So we don't see that actual tension, in my opinion.
Good point. Yeah.
For me, maybe it's because I really did resonate with the story, but I was just like stressed all the time, and I was like, no, please don't do it, don't go there, just shut up. When we arrived to the version of Gordon being that's little boycotting boy, I don't know, this little like spy,
Right.
it's just so difficult to read. It's something they do. I know many cases of that type of kids management from dads mostly, in divorced or not divorced families. So for me, it was like every 7 years there was something I was just like super stressed or super nervous to read. And the sudden deaths of some characters that I wasn't thinking they were going to be dead. They surprised me. I'm not easily surprised, and they surprised me. So for me, this was a 10 out of 10. The pacing was good for me to be surprised and to be pretty anxious about what was going to happen. And the epilogue, I wasn't expecting that ending. Just like this
That
gore.
was satisfying, though.
Yes, I was crying like a baby in the Gordon ending, and then the epilogue was like unexpected.
Yeah.
So yes, for me this was like 10 of 10. Yes.
I had to reread the epilogue, my
Mm.
preparation for tonight, because I had to remind myself of how I felt, which kind of leads us to the next point: emotional impact and reader engagement. That's one thing I like to think about when I'm reading a book is how does this book make me feel? And we might not remember Sheila Vey, or we might not remember how to pronounce Sheila Vey. We may not remember Kian or or Maya, but we will remember how this book made us feel 10 years from now, 15 years from now, for a long, long time. And that's pretty special. So I think that this book really brings a lot to the table when it comes to the emotional impact. And I think I've already said what I had to say about that too. I was engaged the whole time, even though I wanted some more story. I was still properly engaged, and yeah, I couldn't put this book down.
Mm.
Yeah, for me, the impact that this book had on me, I think resonates more on like thinking in my own life what will happen if something like this will be experienced. So
Mm.
that is the impact that I take from this story. So
Mhm.
yes, we feel stress, we feel like discomfort with some scenes, we feel connected with some characters in the epilogue. It's very emotional. You
Mhm.
do feel like you care for these people, you care for this poor boy, you care for for Maya, you care for the mother Cora mostly.
Mhm.
So emotionally, this book is well handled because it triggers you, it triggers in you some of these emotions that otherwise you will not be experiencing if you have not read this book, for example.
Mhm.
But beyond all of that, I think the impact that I take in my personal experience is the wonder. So I now I wonder what will happen if I had a different name. What will happen if maybe my family members will have a different name? What will
Cool.
happen if a person I know very well had a different name? Will I know that person so well or not? So for me, that is the impact that had this book on me, to make me think, to make me wonder, and to think, to fantasize, to have these fantasies. Okay, now I'm going to be named Francisco Pacho. So what will be my life going forward? Will I be fully different, or I don't know, how will I change? So this is the huge impact that this book had on me. If I
Yeah.
haven't read this book, I probably would have not think about it. So that's the level of engagement that I had with this book. So for me, it was really really good.
Mm. Well, for me, it was good as well. For me, it was quite the opposite. It was like, first of all, it triggered memories. It was like I had more than one sequence of the past very vividly uh, reminded, and it was like it was terrible. That's what this woman, this writer has been there for sure. I don't know if it's part of her childhood or what, but she's
Mm.
been there. There are subtleties there that only happen, for example, when you're having food in your house, or at night, or these two Gordons, the father Gordon that exists, the one that is publicly loved and revered, and oh, the good doctor, and as soon as he enters his house, he's
Mm.
a tyrant. He's just this masochistic, sadistic
Mhm.
person. I don't know. It's just awful.
Yeah.
The only thing that I was lacking here is that he will abuse one of the children. That's what
Mhm.
the only one, the only thing that was missing. But I
Mm.
think that was going to further to with the violence for the story. But it was just like that. And the moment it dissolves in these three different like versions of dissolving a family. It's
Mhm.
so really, really realistic. It's just like all of them will happen like that.
Mhm.
So emotional impact is just everything. I started crying like in chapter 2
Mm.
with Julian, I think.
Yeah.
So it was just like, what's up? No, with Bear. Bear is the first one. No, with Bear. With the first scene where he knows he is called Bear and
Mhm.
everything happens at night. It was like, what's happening here? What type of book is this? I didn't know it was like this. No,
Yeah.
but the emotional impact was from the start to the very, very last word. I was crying.
Right.
Uh, and then for me, it's like a healing book more than a what if book for you, my dear Mel. For me,
Mhm.
it's like this reality that we chose was the best one. For me, it was like assuring, validating. It was like we had so many opportunities to choose differently. My
Mhm.
mom as well, everybody involved.
Mhm.
And we have been carrying these doubts about the choice that we've had made along the time. And
Mhm.
with this book, it became clear for me that this is the prime reality, that I'm so happy that I'm here. The other Javiers that are in the multiverse are suffering so much more than I'm
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
doing. So that's for me. The engagement was like that, and I'm really really happy that this is in Spanish. But I will give it to my mom. I will give it to Rodo so he can have another tool for therapy. I think this is a healing book for therapy for
Mhm.
sure. If you've been in a violent infancy, this will heal some part of that doubts that you have as an adult.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
just 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's great.
We each had such a unique perspective there. I like that. Um, Marse, is that how you pronounce?
Marce.
Marcela. Mhm.
Marce.
Okay, cool. This book made me think about my daughter's name. I believe it was a good decision and it was a perfect fit. It also made me wonder about my name
Mhm.
and my story. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's the outtake. That's perfect.
Yep.
When
So
I
what?
saw her
Mhm.
and I remember her name, Marce, for me it's like magic. And she really resonates with the single lady that I knew of you when you were single. So it's just like there's a
Mm.
connection with her name.
Mm. Cool.
So, boys, what do you say? Should we stop in number 10 and
Yes.
summarize?
I will be
I think
honest.
so.
I am falling asleep here. I
Yeah,
think
no.
you guys
Is
know me
it
so well, and
midnight
I'm just like,
already, my friend? Or are
Yeah, yeah,
you having
it's
your
about
New
time.
Year moment in there in Newfoundland?
yeah, yeah.
We need to
Well,
celebrate the new year now.
I even told Mauricio that I'm off chocolate for such a long time. I told Mal this on Friday. Oh, I told Mal on Friday I'm not going any chocolate because I have had my share of treats in 2026 already. But like I was just literally sneaking chocolates just for more energy. How am I going to get through this? I love these guys so much, but I don't know if I have the mental space to talk
Don't
anymore.
Yeah,
worry.
definitely we need to narrow it down to 2 hours because
Yeah,
one, because of the time in Newfoundland, it's already late, and tomorrow you have to work, and second because yeah, there's so many things to discuss. So this might be going on for another session, but yeah, I think so. Up to number 10 should be okay.
yeah. I think this is a very good sign because the other book was done in almost 3 hours.
Yeah, and 20, we did the 20. I don't remember. We did the
Yes, we did the
20.
20. So it
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
like
exactly.
pretty,
So
pretty different.
So this means this book gave
Yes,
a more rich conversation because
absolutely.
it's a better book. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
Cool.
you have to put yourself. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm um,
I have I have a video in my mind with you washing your teeth, putting on your robe,
Oh, yeah.
and shutting down.
This is how close I am with these guys. I love spending time with you guys, but
I know. I know.
yeah, I, when I want to check out, I'm going to bring this up. And
Oh, Manekineko. That's called Manekineko.
yeah, this is unfortunately. I need.
Yes, yes. Good fortune. Hello, good fortune. Ah, that's
I'll just do this.
Frida.
Yeah, thank you for being here. As well.
That's my symbol for okay. I'm checking out now.
So we will be meeting next Monday, same hour, and we can do the other 10 out of 20. But you, my dear audience members, can start reading. The eyes are the best part. If not, we're not going to go there on time because we read so quickly. So we don't worry about us. But the eyes are the best part is the next book that we're going to read for the next 2 weeks now. Now we will be talking about this in 2 weeks without spoilers, but you can start reading it already. I don't know if it's available there in Newfoundland if somebody doesn't have it.
Oh, and Ashley mentioned that she sent a link because this is available online as a free audiobook. So for anyone listening here now, and thank you, Ashley, for sending me that link, I'll copy and paste it in the comments once this video is published. So then you can get a link to the free audiobook version of this book.
Okay, that's fantastic. So can you remind me, next week we'll continue with the names, right? Or
part 3.
So part 3.
But everybody can start reading this so they can get there on time in 2 weeks. So when we start chatting about this one, no? But
all right, okay, sounds good.
Cool.
Super cool.
Well, you guys, you brought a lot to the table tonight, and once again, you made me think about the book in a different way, in a different light. And I really like that we can listen to each other's opinions, and we listen so well. And even when we don't really share the same opinions, we can listen to each other at the same time and disagree in such a good and healthy way. So I appreciate you both so much, and I appreciate everyone for being here. I'm always so impressed when everyone shows up, and thank you guys.
Well, thank you so much, John. And how about next week we start with our audience's thoughts about the book? How about it? No, so please be ready with your text. If you can copy paste your opinion about the book, it would be lovely. We can read them and we can go there first.
Yeah.
Then we can go towards our criteria. No?
Exactly.
Okay. Great idea. Perfect.
Super. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for being there, as always. It's appreciated. And thank you, John and Javi, for sharing all your thoughts. This is very enriching, and it's a wonderful experience.
Yeah, thank you so much. For me, it's just wonderful. Thank you, my dear friends. I love you so much. Be well. Have a night. And well, everybody here. Well, so good to have an audience for this wonderful project. Thank you so much for being here and being active part of it by reading and commenting and everything. So let's see us in another week.
Yeah, next Monday. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.